This is Paul Newman, and if you are seeing this screen, I am hoping to assure you here that. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video. Thank you very much for taking the time to join me today. As always, it is very much appreciated. You join me here on Thursday, the 25th of June, 2026, 3 days ahead of the Irish Derby, the second classic of the season for Colts, held in Ireland over a mile and a half at the Curragh. So rather unsurprisingly, this video will be on my own personal YouTube channel, taking another look at a Classic Watch 26 Possible that this time is trained and racing in the UK at the moment. But before we get on to the Classic Watch stuff, I always like to mention my own personal Patreon channel in these videos, Newman Racing it is called. I do think it is worth you checking out Patreon as well as this YouTube channel. Plenty going on the Patreon, especially if you are a fan of National Hunt Racing, because a lot of the National Hunt Racing, the vast majority of it, has in fact gone over to the Patreon channel now. There's also plenty of resources over on the Patreon channel as well that I have uploaded over the years. Spreadsheets, race notes, pedigree notes, that sort of thing. There's also the occasional selection on there. Maybe before the racing, I'll jump on there and do a little bit of Patreon. But to be fair, those videos are few and far between, really. And also, there's a chance on Patreon to support me moving forward. If that is something you like to do, supporting your content creators, then there is an option to do so. But I do think that if you're using Newman Racing as a free user, I do think there is plenty on there as well to make it worthwhile as a free user as well over on my Patreon, Newman Racing. So my advice would be to head over there and check it out. You never know. It might just be for you. Right, enough of that. Let's move on now to the Classic Watch stuff. classicwatch26.great/site.net is where people can find this year's edition of Classic Watch. You will see the site coming together quite nicely now. The 10 theatres we have currently, the Roll of Honour. I think it will be updated soon, actually, to stick on some more Southern Hemisphere horses. We're approaching the end of the Southern Hemisphere season now, as for their 3-year-old campaign. So it might be soon time to start updating that. We've got all the 2-year-olds won by horses on the site, 2-year-old races. All the 3-year-old races as well, pattern races won by horses on the site as well. And just the one all-aged race at the moment taken out in South Africa. But those all-age races really, as the year progresses in certain areas, our 3-year-olds will take on those races a lot more often once the classics have finished. Some very interesting horses on the site. classicwatch26.great/site.net is where you will be able to find it. This horse here might also be on the site at some point. Raaheeb is the name of the horse, a 3-year-old colt, trained by Owen Burrows and owned by Shadwell Estate Company Limited. Raaheeb is sired by See the Stars out of a dam called Agareed, who herself was sired by King Mambo, and the horse is also bred by Shadwell Estate Company Limited. The horse has done absolutely nothing wrong in its career. 2 runs and 2 victories up to this point for total earnings of £64,675 British pounds in its career. People will see that the horse made its debut on the 5th of September 2025 in a 7-furlong maiden race at Ascot, a Class 3 race. And the horse managed to defeat Pompette by a length and a quarter on the day when ridden by stable jockey Jim Crowley. A racing post rating of 85 was good enough on the day. That was the only time the horse was seen at 2. Never contested another race at 2. Instead, getting out nice and early in its 3-year-old campaign, making its first 3-year-old start on the 24th of April 2026 at Sandown, where the horse contested the Group 3 Classic Trial held over 1 mile and 2 furlongs, which of course was 3 furlongs further than what he ran to on debut. Again, the horse turned in a very good performance, I think, defeating Alzanati by 3 1/4 lengths on the day, this time ridden by Rosser Ryan. And the horse improved very nicely indeed as well, improving its racing post rating by 28 from 85 in its first run to a mark of 113 that the horse gained when winning its first pattern race at Group 3 level in the Sandown Classic Trial. So, like I said, the horse unbeaten on its first 2 starts. People can take a look at the entries that the horse has got at the moment. People will see the horse is entered on Sunday, the 28th of June, in the Irish Derby at the Curragh. And the horse is also at this stage entered the 4th of October in the Arc de Triomphe, a race held, obviously, at Longchamp. No St Leger entries at this point for the horse in the UK or in Ireland. I don't know, it remains to be seen, really, whether this will be a Leger horse. I'm hoping it will take its place in the Irish Derby this coming weekend. Very interesting horse, I think it's fair to say. People take a look at the horse on the Pedigree Online Thoroughbred database. They will see that the horse is up to date. 2 starts and 2 victories and £64,675 in Great Britain. People will see that the dam line that we're interested in on this horse, Raaheeb, is dam line 2F. That is the dam line we will be looking at on this horse today. What we're going to do today, because this is a dam line that we've looked at before, we're going to stop, I think, at the 4th dam today, a horse called Bashaya that was born in the year 1990. We're going to take a look at any decent horses that we find along the way. And then we're going to end up at a horse that a video has already been done in the Classic Watch series. So what I will do is we will end up at that horse, and then I will be able to add a video as a card to this video. That will just keep the video length nice and short. Well, shorter than what it would have been anyway, had I had to repeat myself. And then if people want to look at the historical aspect of this dam line, all they need to do is watch the video that I will include. Oh, hang on, I've just got to go and blow my nose. My nose is running and it is interrupting my video flow. So I'll be back shortly. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Yeah, without further ado, I think we can get cracking now. We've got to take a look, obviously, at some horses before we even get to the first dam here. Baaeed is the first horse we're going to take a look at. A horse born in 2018, sired by See the Stars, out of a dam called Agareed. So our horse is a full brother to this horse, Baaeed, by See the Stars, out of Agareed. Baaeed raced 11 times in his career, 10 victories, 10 out of 11 starts in the first one, for career earnings of £2,622,282 UK pounds in his career. One of the best horses of recent years, Baaeed, it's fair to say. At 3, the horse won the Group 1 Prix de Moulin, the Group 1 Queen Elizabeth II Stakes, the Group 3 Thoroughbred Stakes, and the listed Sir Henry Cecil Stakes of 2021. And at 4, the horse won the Group 1 Lockin Stakes, the Queen Anne Stakes at Royal Ascot, the Sussex Stakes at Goodwood, and the Juddmonte International at York, over 10 furlongs. Horse was 4th on his only defeat in the Champion Stakes in the UK. Horse trained by Willie Haggis, raced in Great Britain and France. Entered stud in 2023 at Beach House Stud in England. The horse owned and bred by Shadwell Estate Company. First 2-year-olds this year, actually, for Baaeed. Current fee of £55,000 UK pounds, which I think is quite frankly ridiculous. Who would even think of that? At this stage, you will see that only one out of Baaeed's first crop of 121 foals has hit the track, and that failed to win at the moment. He ran a decent enough race. The horse is in fact called Shiam. It is actually beaten by one of mine, Byzantine, who didn't turn up at Royal Ascot. So yeah, I'm sure we will see plenty more buy-ins out as the season develops. If you paid £55,000 for a 2-year-old, you'd want to run it before June, wouldn't you? This goes to show what a ridiculous stallion fee that was, really. But it's up to them. They can charge whatever they like for their own horses, can't they? But it remains to be seen, really, Baiid's influence on stud. Hopefully, over the next 5 or 6 years, people will be able to see if he is value at that price as well. Me personally, I don't think he ever will be. Interesting horse, though. Very good horse on the track. We've got to take a look at another one of his full brothers now. Born a year earlier was Hookham, a horse born in 2017, sired by See the Stars Again, out of Agareed. So this is 2 full brothers to our horse Raaheeb, who of course was born in 2023. Hookham raced 11 times in his career, 8 wins, 4 seconds and 2 thirds. That's 13, isn't it? That's 14. Oh, that's wrong, isn't it? So again, this horse is it's just wrong. The number of starts is wrong. That 8 plus 4 plus 2 is not 11. And the career earnings of £2,387,995 in Great Britain and the UAE. Again, another awful job done by the public in editing this horse. Hookham won some races, though. He won the Group 3 Geoffrey Freer Stakes of 2020, aged 3. I think the horse did run in the St Leger that year. At 4, the horse managed to win another 4 pattern races, another 3 Group 3 races. The horse won the Group 3 Silver Cup, the Group 3 Geoffrey Freer Stakes for the second time in his career, and the Group 3 Cumberland Lodge Stakes. The horse also won the listed Tapster Stakes and was 3rd in the Group 2 Hardwick Stakes out at Royal Ascot. But it was at 5 in 2022 and 6 the year after that the horse made his Group 1 breakthrough and his Group 2 breakthrough. At 5, the horse won his first Group 2 race, the Group 2 Dubai City of Gold, and then went back to Epsom and won the Group 1 Coronation Cup of 2022. And at 6, the horse won another Group 1, the Group 1 King George VI and Queen Elizabeth Stakes at Ascot as well. And the horse also won the Group 3 Brigadier Gerard Stakes. So this horse won 4 Group 1s, 4 Group 3 races, 1 listed race, 2 Group 1 races and a Group 2 race. This horse was trained by Owen Burrows, raced in the UK, UAE and France. Horse is standing at Dali in Japan. This one owned and bred by Shadwell as well. The fee of 1,200,000 yen at the moment in 2026. The horse standing at Dali Stud in Japan. And rather like his brother Baaid, this horse commenced stud duties in Japan in 2024. And there is none of his 2-year-olds on the track up to this date. Next season will be the first Hookhams in 2027. So still a long way to go yet regarding these 2 stallions. Very good horses on the track, though, it's fair to say. We're going to take a look at Raaheeb now, a gelding born in the year 2020, sired by Nathaniel out of Agareed. So this horse is a half-brother to our horse by a different stallion. Raaheeb raced 21 times in his career, 3 wins, 5 seconds and 4 thirds. 12 out of 21 starts in the first 3. For career earnings of 208,025 Great British pounds in Great Britain. I don't know if they're still updating this one. I know the horse is still going round. The horse has managed to win 2 listed races. The horse managed to win 1 listed race, the Foundation Stakes last season of 2025 listed race. Horse also placed 3rd in the Group 2 Jockey Club Stakes of 2024, as well as being placed in another 2 listed races. Horse owned by Shadwell Estate Company and now owned by N. O'Keefe. Horse bred by Shadwell, trained by William Haggis and Julie Camacho. Also placed in another 2 listed races. Group 2 and Group 2 placed listed winner, Raaheeb. A very good horse in his own right, but he obviously pales into insignificance when we are looking at his 2 younger brothers. We can now finally take a look at the dam of our horse, Aghareed, a mare born in the year 2009, sired by King Mambo, out of a dam called Lahadood. Aghareed raced 5 times in her career, 2 wins and a third, 3 times out of her first 5 starts in the first 2, for career earnings of €46,800, racing in France. Pretty good horse, Aghareed, trained by Jonathan Hammond out in France. The horse managed to win the listed Prix Liancourt of 2012, a race held at Longchamp. Horse bred by Shadwell Farm LLC and owned by Hamdan Al Maktoum. The horse, like I said, raced in France, and as we know, the horse is a multiple black type producer from taking a look at the horses that we have just looked at. We can take a look at a couple more horses now. Just realise that these two are in the wrong places. Maharajan is the horse we can take a look at now, a gelding, born in 2018, sired by Kitten's Joy, out of Lahadood. So you'll see there that Lahadood is also the dam of our horse Aghareed. So this horse is a half-brother to the first dam of our horse. Maharajan raced 23 times in his career, 5 wins, 2 seconds and 7 thirds. 14 out of 23 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of $548,937 Australian dollars in his career. This horse was a fair horse in New Zealand, and at one stage it was bred by Shadwell, then we moved to New Zealand. The horse raced in the UK and New Zealand. At 5 and 6, the horse won 2 New Zealand pattern races. At 5, the horse won the Group 3 New Zealand Cup of 2023, and the horse also won the Group 2 Auckland Cup held at Ellerslie in 2024. Group 2 and Group 3 winning gelding out in New Zealand, full brother to the second dam of our horse. Got to take a look really at Falakaya as well. Falakaya, horse still going round. Falakaya, born a filly, born in the year 2022, sired by New Bay, out of a dam called Alaflak, a mare who was born in 2015 and sired by Warfront. People will see Lahadood is the second dam of this horse as well. Falakaya got off to a very good start in her career, won her first 2 starts and earned £37,428 UK pounds for doing so. Horse still going round. It's gone round 5 or 6 times, and again, this website, Pedigree Online Thoroughbred Database, just seems to have not even bothered tracking the horse this season. People will see that the horse won the listed Pretty Polly Stakes of 2025 last year at Newmarket. Another horse owned and bred by the Shadwell Estate Company. Just a shame that the Pedigree Online Thoroughbred Databases just not bothered to update this horse now for over a year. The horse has run 3 or 4 times, very disappointing. I will say it again, do you ever see me open up Classic Watch and say, oh, put your own horses on the site? Of course not, because it's the public, isn't it? And that's what this site does. This site doesn't really do a decent job. It doesn't pay anybody to work on it. It just tries to do everything on the cheap while asking for money all the time, sadly. It is what it is, this site, but at least it gets the dam lines right, which is basically all we use this site for, and a rough indicator of what the horses have done over the years. But we're at the mercy of the general public, not a professional. That's the trouble when people use this site. We can take a look now at the second dam of this horse, the second dam of our horse, Raaheeb. Lahadood, a mare born in the year 2003. Sired by Singspiel, out of a dam born in 1996 called Raaheeb, who was sired by Arazi. Lahadood raced 12 times in her career, 4 wins, 5 seconds and a third, 10 out of 12 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of €106,250 and $1,560,500 American dollars. Pretty good, solid second dam for our horse, it is fair to say. Former Breeders' Cup winner at 3. This horse was another one to win the listed Prix de Liancourt this year in 2006. So the first two dams, I think, have both won that race. Yeah, Agarid won the Prix de Liancourt, and so did La Houdoud. At 3, La Houdoud was placed in another 3 pattern races. Second in the Group 2, Prix de Mailleret and the Prix de Royaux, and also second in the Group 3, Prix de Syque. But it was at 4, when switched to the USA, that the filly made her Group 1 breakthrough, trained by Kieran McLaughlin. She won the Group 1 Flower Bowl Invitational Handicap at Belmont, and she also won the Grade 1 Breeders' Cup Filly and Mares Turf of 2007. Horse raced in France and the US. She is the 2007 Eclipse Champion Turf female. And as we know, she is a black type producer, owned and bred by Shadwell in her career. So we've got 2 pretty decent first dams, it's fair to say. Where are we at now? We're going to take a look at this one. Yes, we are. Karima is the next horse we need to take a look at. A mare born in 2005, sired by Pentra Celebra out of Raaheeb. So people can see that this mare is a half-sister to our mare, La Houdoud. Karima raced 4 times, according to these, and won 2 of them. She won 2 out of her first 4 starts and earned €38,500 in France for her troubles. Karima managed to win the listed Prix Charles Lafite, a listed race held at Chantilly in 2008, age 3. Another one trained by Jonathan Hammond out in France. Very good horse, owned and bred by Shadwell, a listed winner. And she did her bit at the shed, in the shed, it's fair to say. Admiral de Vega, a gelding, born in the year 2019, sired by Lope de Vega, out of a dam called Ashakar, who was born in 2010 and sired by Dan Silly. People will see there that Karima is the second dam of this horse and Raaheeb is the third dam. Admiral de Vega raced 18 times in his career, 7 wins, 2 seconds and 4 thirds. 13 out of 18 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of 1,758,684 Swedish krona. This horse again used to race in the UK and then went to Sweden. Trained by Annika By Hansen, in Norway. The horse raced in Norway and Sweden. Owned by Vasby Hast AB and bred by Shadwell. People will see that the horse has won 2 Group 3 races. The horse won the Stockholm Storer Prize twice, in 2023 and 2025. Twice, and the horse has also been placed in a couple of Swedish Group 3 races. So yes, dual Group 3 winner out in Scandinavia. Also on this line, Admiral de Vega. Just a shame that they gelded it. Well, it'd be a good stallion out there, you would think, this horse. But sadly not to be, but a good horse. Admiral de Vega, dual Group 3 winner. Ashariba is another horse we can look at. A mare born in 2021, sired by Ribchester. Don't get many good horses out of him, out of a dam called Ashaqua. Again, very closely related to the horse we just looked at, this one. You see Karima, the second dam, and Raaheeb, the third dam. Ashariba raced 14 times in her career, 7 wins and a second. 8 out of 14 starts in the first 2. For career earnings of £112,567 UK pounds. The horse raced in Great Britain and France in her career. Pretty good horse, Ashariba. Managed to win the listed Prix Dahlia, a listed race held at St. Cloud in 2025. And this year she has also placed second in the listed Prix Urban Sea, a listed race held at where would that be? Leon Paris, could be guessing there. But yeah, the horse has won a listed race, trained by David Menuisier out in Great Britain, owned by Nicole Hutchings and G. Augustin Norman. Horse bred by SCAA JLC, SCAA de Lorbury, SARL Equerry Brilliantism, and Chauvigny Global Equine. Very interesting horse, listed winner, trained by David Menuisier. Next horse we can take a look at is also on the same line, Ziara. Ziara won 2 of her first 4 starts, a filly, born in the year 2020, sired by Nathaniel out of Ashika. Ashika's done a very good job, hasn't she? It's fair to say, with Karima, the second dam, and Raaheeb, the third dam. Ziara, €44,500 in France, earned in her first 4 runs, 2 of them victories. The horse managed to run quite well. She managed to win the listed Prix Madame Jean Couturier, a listed race held at Vichy in 2023. Another horse owned and bred by the Shadwell Estate Company and trained by Francis Henri Graffard. A man with no loyalty to anybody. It's safe to say he will train anybody, anything for anybody. You know, he really is a mercenary trainer. By the look of things, he trains for all the leading owners. How are people meant to guess? People, well, not guess, but whose allegiances is he working for? Is he the Aga Khan's man? Is he the Coolmore man? You know, he just got no loyalty, these people. You know, Ziara, it is what it is, the horse racing these days. All the same people training the same horses for everybody. Conflict of interest aplenty, but Ziara, very good horse, listed winner in 2023. Next one we can take a look at is a horse that went round in the UK and in Hong Kong, Dynamism. A gelding born in the year 2011, sired by New Approach out of a dam called Height and Vanity, who was born in 2004 and sired by Erhab. People will see that Raaheeb is also the second dam of this horse as well. Dynamism raced 35 times in his career, 3 wins, 7 seconds and 4 thirds. 14 out of 35 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of $4,339,499 Hong Kong dollars and €21,557. Very good horse Dynamism was in his day out in Hong Kong in handicaps. He was also placed in the Group 3 Bavarian Classic out in Germany in 2014 when owned by Jabir Abdullah, and the horse was then known as Speedy Approach in Great Britain. Horse was also placed 3rd in the listed Washington Singer Stakes as well in 2013. Raced plenty of times in Hong Kong without reaching pattern level at all after being sent there in 2014 when leaving Jabir Abdullah. Some interesting horses on this line, isn't there? I do think. Raaheeb, we can take a look at now, is the second dam of our horse, a mare born in 1996, sired by Arazi, out of a dam called Bashaya, who was born in 1990 and sired by Mr. Prospector. Raaheeb raced 9 times in her racing career, 1 win, 2 seconds and a third. 4 out of 9 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of £7,795 UK pounds in her career. Raaheeb, no pattern race form in her career. The horse owned by New Sales Park Stud, bred by Shadwell and trained in Great Britain by John Dunlop. Although we do know that the horse is a black type producer from the horses that we've looked at. We're going to take a few more, I think, now with Bashaya in the pedigree, just another 2. Argel is this horse, a horse born in 2004, sired by Al Jabra out of Ortang, a mare born in 1997 and also sired by Arazi out of Bashaya. Interesting horse, Argel, 10 starts in his career, 3 wins, 2 seconds and 2 thirds. 7 out of 10 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of £49,921 UK pounds in Great Britain. Bit of a late developer, this horse, it's fair to say. He didn't reach the pattern level until he was 6. He managed to finish second then in the Group 3 Cigaro Stakes of 2010. And the horse was also second at Royal Ascot that year, albeit in a conditions race, the Queen Alexandra Stakes. Horse owned and bred by Shadwell and owned by Hamdan Al Maktoum, trained in the UK, I think, by Marcus Tregonin, this horse. But yeah, it was a pattern race horse towards the end of his career. Like I said, Bashaya, the second dam of that horse. We'll take a look at one more, I think, Mamduha, a mare born in the year 2011, sired by Dahir, out of a dam called Marassi, who was born in 2005 and sired by Raaheeb. People will see that Bashaya is also the second dam of this horse. Mamdouha raced 8 times in her career, and according to this, she was never out of the first 3. 5 wins, a second and 2/3, 8 out of 8 starts in the first 3. For career earnings of $325,200 US in her career. Good horse, Mamdouha. She managed to finish 3rd in the Group 2 Distaff Handicap of 2015, and she was also 3rd in the Group 3 Vagrancy Handicap the same year. Group 2 and Group 3 placed multiple American Stakes winner, owned and bred by Shadwell. But again, we try not to get bogged down in those American Stakes races. There are so many of them. But this horse was placed in 2 graded races. So I thought it was worth looking at. The last horse we're going to take a look at is Al Yunabi, and this is the horse where the video will be inserted as a card into this video. Al Yunabi is now a gelding, born in 2021, sired by 2 darn hots out of a mare called Al Yamama, who was born in 2015 and sired by Kitten's Joy. People will see that Height of Fashion, excuse me, the 3rd dam of this horse, born in 1979. Oh, we've not looked at this dam yet, sorry. Bashaya, we'll go back a dam. Bashaya, a mare born in 1990, sired by Mr. Prospector out of Height of Fashion. Bashaya raced 12 times in her career, 2 wins, a second and a 3rd. 4 out of 12 starts in the first 3. For career earnings of £35,557 UK pounds in her career. Bashaya was placed 2nd in the listed Cheshire Oaks of 1993 when the race was sponsored by Shadwell. The UK Oaks trial, she managed to finish 2nd in it. A horse owned and bred by Shadwell as well. Now we can take a look at Al Yunabi. You will see the Height of Fashion, the dam of the 3rd dam of our horse, Bashaya. No, sorry, the 4th dam. The 5th dam of our horse, Height of Fashion, is also the 3rd dam of the card of the horse we're going to take a look at in the card. Al Yunabi, sired by 2 darn hots out of Al Yamama. Al Yunabi, up to this point, when they stopped tracking him, had raced 9 times in his career, 3 wins and a second. 4 out of his first 9 starts were in the first 2. For career earnings of £213,641 UK pounds in Great Britain. This horse was a pretty decent 2-year-old, I thought. It won the Group 3 Somerville Tattersall Stakes of 2023. And then the horse chased home City of Troy in the Group 1 Dewhurst Stakes the same year in 2023. The horse didn't really train on at 3, though the horse did win the listed Spring Trophy, a race held at Haydock. Horse trained by Owen Burrows, rather like this one, and bred and owned by Shadwell Estate Company Limited. I'm going to say this is another one that they haven't tracked. I'm fairly certain that this horse might have raced more times than that. It is when you let the public do your work. This is the result, shoddy job. But it is what it is. You know, a good horse, Al Yunabi. I remember following him, and he was the horse that was on Classic Watch 2024, actually, Al Yunabi. So it really shortens this video, because if people want to look at the historic dam line of Height of Fashion, then they are able to do so. I will insert this video of Al Yunabi as a card into this video, and I will do that now. And that will enable us to move on a little bit in this video, as we would really have been here for a very long time. You know, that the Al Yunabi video doesn't tell the full story. The Al Yunabi video is several years old, you know, but it gives people a rough idea. And also, it doesn't actually include the three Group 1 winners in Japan that are found on the same line after I identified Al Yunabi. But these things are what they are, you know. I'm not going to sit here repeating myself in a heat wave about Height of Fashion when I can just include that video. You know, you don't pay me enough for that. Al Yunabi, very good horse, it's fair to say, although I do think he wasn't as good as I hoped he would be. It's fair to say. We can take a look at this dam line, Family 2F, on the historical dam line now. People can find the diagram at bloodlines.net. Unfortunately, they still have to go through the site through a back door called the Wayback Machine because the site is still unable to open on its own domain due to a Cloudflare error. You know, that's why I will always encourage people never to use things like that because nobody knows what's around the corner. You know, I'm sure when this lady made this site, she was hoping that the site would outlive her and be a fine legacy to her. But unfortunately, the third party site has broken her site in the maybe she's not been able to renew the subscription or it's just broken it. The site all of a sudden though, bloodlines.net is looking very vulnerable indeed on its own domain, which I think would be a tragedy because it is one of the most useful resources on this website, on the web really, regarding horse racing. You know, I use it a hell of a lot. So it would be tragedy for all the horse racing connoisseurs such as myself if this site went down, really, because it enables people to track the horses. You will see our section there. We've got a dual Oaks winner, Highclere, 1971. She would be the sixth dam of our horse and the dam of her Height of Fashion. You know, you'll see Hypericum is also directly on our line. She is a British Guineas winner, 1946. There's Deep Impact, legendary Japanese Triple Crown winning horse. There's Height of Fashion there with her classic winners, Nashwan and Ganati. All these horses looked at in length, really, in the other video, it's fair to say. Right, what can we do now is we can close down a few tabs to save on CPU, and we can watch the horse Raaheeb win two races. Two races. Because the horse won the first time out, we're going to watch Raaheeb's debut first. That race took place on the 5th of September 2025 at Ascot, and it came in a 7-furlong maiden race, Class 3. So before we take a look at the pattern race that the horse won this year, I am roasting here, sweat literally pouring off me as I make this video. But I'm going to carry on. The weather is what it is, not going to improve. So without further ado, let's take a look at this horse now and see what we think of it on debut. This is Raaheeb winning on debut at Ascot in September 2025.
That's it, ready. They're off and racing. Jumping away over 7 furlongs, the Charbonnel A. Walker British EBF maiden. Decent start made by Midnight Bandit in the black and yellow colours, and Pompet also going forwards quite keen. Also very keen is Bahike in the violet. He's got to get some cover. Couple of groups at the moment. To the right, the running rail, black and yellow Midnight Bandit leads the way from Pompet there with Caladan and YY Nation following. Meanwhile, Norman Invasion, who got very warm down at the start, is now just tacking over to join the orange sleeves, being followed by both Raaheeb in the royal blue, white stripes on the cap, and also the violet of Bahike, who continues to over-race. So Midnight Bandit just ahead, I reckon. Quite a steady early pace. Racing upsides now, Norman Invasion. Raaheeb is following for Jim Crowley, racing in company with Bahike, Pompet, YY Nation. And at the back of the field is Caladan, past the 3-pole. Norman Invasion coming through to poke the head in front. Now Midnight Bandit is asked for more. On the left, Raaheeb is trying to move up and join issue. Bahike the Violet also coming into it. Then Pompet, YY Nation, Caladan at the back of the field. Furlong and a half to go. On the left, Raaheeb now winding up for the effort. Bahike pulled hard early. Will there be a finishing effort between horses? It's Norman Invasion. Pompet tries to finish as well. A furlong to go. Raaheeb has taken off and taken over. Raaheeb hits the front. Bahike trying to fight on. And between horses, Pompet finishing well late, but Raaheeb is in front to the line. Perfect pedigree, perfect start. Raaheeb wins nicely on debut to beat Pompet. Bahike in third, front three well clear of YY Nation and Norman Invasion.
I have to agree with the commentator there. I thought that was a very good performance on debut. I thought the horse there, Raaheeb, did very little wrong. Travelled very well in the early stages of the race, it's fair to say. And then when push came to shove in the final stages, I thought the horse found plenty for his jockey, Jim Crowley. Still sadly injured and unable to return to the saddle. We wish Jim all the best and hopefully he can get back to doing what he was born to do soon. Very good jockey on his day, but he's a polarising jockey. But there's no doubt about it that he is an integral part of the Shadwell operation, and they could do with him back. But I do think on that day, I do think he rode Raaheeb very well. A good introductory ride. And when push comes to shove, like I said at the end, I thought the horse had plenty left in the tank. And I do think that the horse won quite well on debut. It was just a shame, really, that we never saw more of the horse at 2. That was the last start that the horse had, and in September, and the horse was seen again then on the 24th of April 2026, when he lined up to contest the Group 3 Classic Trial, a race held over 1 mile 2 furlongs at Sandown on good ground. As I alluded to earlier, Ross O'Ryan was in the saddle on this race, replacing the injured Jim Crowley. Seven horses turned up, rather like, again, how many he raced on his debut. So without further ado, let's take a look at the 2026 Group 3 Classic Trial at Sandown and see what we think, shall we?
Group 3, several Derby entries, and they're away. And Action didn't get away very well in the hands of Ryan Moore, who's pushing him along through the first 100 metres or so. Winding Stream bounds into an early lead from Oceans 4 in second. Wise Prince is keen on the outside. Up the inside, Raaheeb with Al Zanati between runners. Action making up some ground now. Out very wide of the field, and then back on the inside is Spice. Winding Stream stretches on by 2.5 to 3 lengths from Oceans 4 in second, a half length away to Raaheeb on the inside. Then Wise Prince, Al Zanati, Spice, and Action just about the back marker as they head down the back straight, and the leader getting away a little bit. Winding Stream, Oisin Murphy, the advantage now at least 5 lengths, possibly 6 over Oceans 4. Raaheeb is on the inside, then Wise Prince. On the inner is Spice, out wide the white blazed Action at the back with Al Zanati in a noseband. So about to exit the back straight in this Bet365 Classic Trial, and Winding Stream setting the target but coming back to them a little bit now. Raaheeb is closing right up with Oceans 4, who's 3 wide, and they look like they're going to go past Winding Stream sooner or later, although Oisin might be just giving the leader a bit of a breather. Spice is back in fourth from Wise Prince and Al Zanati, and nothing from Action so far as they run down inside the final 3 furlongs. Raaheeb poised to challenge Winding Stream. Oceans 4 on the outside, Spice, then Wise Prince in behind runners waiting for a split. Al Zanati pulled out wide, and Action just beginning to stay on from the back under Ryan Moore now as Raaheeb strikes the front under Ross O'Ryan. It's Raaheeb that leads the way, chased by Wise Prince and Al Zanati as they race inside the final furlong and a half. Raaheeb by 2 lengths to Wise Prince, Al Zanati. Action still running on down the outside, but still a lot to do inside the final furlong. Raaheeb, this close relation to Baid and Hookham, he's bred to be good. He looks as though he's going to be very good indeed. Raaheeb wins from in second, Al Zanati, third Wise Prince, Action back in fourth.
Again, it's fairly hard to knock that performance from Raaheeb, wasn't it, considering it was only the horse's second start and his first start at pattern level. Again, Ross O'Ryan, the jockey, I thought made that look very straightforward indeed. The horse yet again travelled superbly in the early stages of the race. It's fair to say, as you would expect a horse as beautifully bred, with as many illustrious good relatives as this horse has, you would expect it to be fairly decent, wouldn't you? And after 2 starts in his career, it is fairly difficult to argue that that is not the case at this stage, isn't it? I thought in the closing stages of that race at Sandown, Ross O'Ryan and his mount Raaheeb were well on top in the closing stages, and I do think that is reflected in the winning margin of 3 1/4 lengths over the Godolphin horse on the day, Al Zanati. Is this horse a classic horse, Raaheeb? Well, it's hard to say because Baid wasn't. Hookham wasn't, and they were good horses. But the truth is they were better horses at 4 and above than they were at 3. It could be argued that this horse, by winning that early Group 3 Classic trial in April, has shown arguably more than either of those did at this stage. Baid was a miler. He was never aimed at the Guineas. This horse, they've got him to the Classic. Baid obviously was running in a few late season mile races in his 3-year-old campaign and winning them very well indeed. But it was at 4, I think, he was the finished article. This horse obviously stays a little bit further than Baid, 10 furlongs on only his second start. Baid did win the Juddmonte International over 10 furlongs. Hookham actually stayed a mile and a half, the other brother. So it's hard to say. When I watched Raaheeb go round in that race at Sandown, I thought he was a Ledger horse, to be honest. But the Ledger is such an unfashionable race these days. People will see, like I said at the start of the video, the horse is entered on Sunday, the 28th of June at the Curragh in the Dubai Duty-Free Irish Derby, and there is no St Ledger entries, and it is clear as day, really, that this horse, with so close to the Derby and a possible Derby runner, definitely deserves his own Classic Watch 26 Possibles video, doesn't he? I think it's fair to say. And if the horse lines up in the Irish Derby this coming weekend, or maybe a St Ledger further on down the line, there's not many more opportunities left for middle distance horses. We're into the staying races now after the Irish Derby this weekend. We've still got the Irish Derby for the fillies to take a look at as and when that's required. But I do think that if Baid lines up either in the Irish Derby or in a St Ledger, after I've sat here and suffered for my art to make this video, that there will be a very, very good chance that you see this horse Raaheeb on classicwatch26.great/site.net when the time is right. Hopefully the horse can make a classic appearance at some point and get on Classic Watch 26. Right, I think I'm going to leave this video here now. Thank you very much to everybody who's taken the time to sit and watch it with me. I hope you all enjoyed it a lot more than I enjoyed making it. I have suffered here in this video. It is really hot. And due to my strong voice, I always have to shut the window when I record because I always hear the video down the street. So with what can I offer you at the end of this video? Right, I can offer you an opportunity to subscribe to the YouTube channel. That way you will not miss any more of my content moving forward on YouTube. You will be able to watch every single video I make on YouTube in future. If you do a little bit of work in your in-app or desktop notifications on YouTube, you can set up YouTube so it notifies you every time I upload a video. It works fine. I've got a few people who have asked me how to do it. I've relayed the information to them, and basically all they have to do is do what I said, click the bell and do a bit of work with your notifications, and then every time you log in, YouTube will give you a notification and tell you that I have made a video. I can do that at the end of this video, and I can also offer you an opportunity to learn about more horses, courtesy of the YouTube channel Classic Watch 26 Possibles playlist. Rather like this video on Raaheeb, every single horse in the Classic Watch 26 process has its own individual video, whether it makes the channel or not. And I will be able to give you all a chance to look at that playlist at the end of the video. That will enable you to look at many more horses. I think we're over 70 videos now on the channel, on the YouTube channel for Classic Watch 26. Not bad going, really, all for free. So why not head over there now for this video? Well, you don't have to head anywhere. All you have to do is wait for this video to finish, and the playlist will come up and allow you a chance to watch it. But yeah, I think I'm going to think about leaving this video here now, I think. Thank you very much to everybody for sitting and watching it. There might be another video or two ahead of the Irish Derby held this weekend at the Curragh on Sunday. I'm keeping a very close eye on the notifications at this stage. Last thing people want to be doing in heat waves is sitting here bringing horses that aren't required at this stage. I do like to bring you all horses, but this is just a Classic Watch video, you know. The only reason the YouTube channel exists is for me to embed my own videos on my own website. If the website didn't exist, I would feel under no pressure at all to share these horses with you. You know, it is what it is. You know, I do like to showcase my own talent, and the talent is there in abundance. So without further ado, I think I'm going to leave this video here now. Take care of yourselves, everybody. In this heat wave in the UK, please stay cool. Please look after yourselves. Do not overexert yourself like I have making this video. You know, it looks difficult. The heat really is beating down on us poor UK citizens this week. And hopefully it will cool down at some point. And enjoy a fantastic weekend and act responsibly this weekend around the heat. If you're around water, then please as well stay clear of the water. There's no need at all to go in it really. And it don't matter how strong a swimmer you are, you can still get yourself into some trouble. Remember to hydrate properly. Remember to keep cool and keep as ventilated as possible. Sort of the opposite of what I've done really for the last hour. So without further ado, I will end this video here. Take care, everybody. Look after yourselves and your loved ones. Have a fantastic weekend and enjoy the upcoming week as well. But for now, I will bid you a fond farewell. I'm off for a drink of juice to cool down a bit. Take care, everybody, and goodbye.